Hello, people. First, I like to apologize to you people for my computer. I'm going out this weekend and I'm buying my computer, another computer. And I had my internet checked and I kept changing my company because I thought it was my internet service. But they came out again, they checked the lines and it's not. So it's obvious it's my computer. I have a Lenovo I've had for 6 years that I absolutely love. And unfortunately, 6 years is old for a computer. I have a I have a couple laptops, but laptops suck unless you have a really good gamer type laptop. So I'm probably going to get a good gamer laptop um, when I go out looking for a computer this weekend. Um, and it has to be within 500-600 bucks. I can't afford more than that. But I just like to say hi to people that are here. I will say hi to you pretty shortly. Today, we're going to discuss how unlucky it was to be sleeping with Constant Castellano, who was the daughter of Paul Castellano. A couple of those guys didn't make out too well. And, people always are under the assumption that, you always hear that Paul Castellano he wasn't like a street guy. He wasn't vicious and stuff like that. That guy had a lot of people killed. He was a very vicious man, and that's what we're going to discuss. Joe Bay Eighth is going to be on shortly, um, and that's the good thing about Joe. He knows a lot about it too, so he's going to come on, and we're going to talk together about the Castellano thing. But let me say hi to you, some of you guys, and then from there we'll do other stuff before we get into anything. Okay, let's see. Staten Island Pal. That's a new name. I'm wondering who that is. But hello, Bill Jordan, Maximilian 2215. How you doing? Montauk, how you doing? Westies. Wrong number. Jenny Patterson, of course. Amber Alert, like always. You're here. Thank you. The Westies is here. Appreciate it. Jane Perry, here like always. Thank you. Doo Brown's in town. Thank you for being here. Amber Alert, Matt Collier, did you notice that you got your wrench? So we're pretty much set on the wrenches for the time being. Simpin Ain't Easy, how you doing? The Sit Down Syndrome Podcast God. I love that name. Even Jeff thinks it's funny. Jesse, how you doing? Welcome from Mexico. Bob Miller, Gimmick Nonstop. Okay, let's see. John O'Reilly, thank you for coming in, and hello to you. Buffalo Billy, hello to you. Scotch Wrangler, how you doing? Gazo72, how are you doing? Okay, so we'll just wait for a few more people, but I want to discuss a couple things before we really get going on anything else. Okay, so yesterday when I was doing the show, I was discussing, today is like a lot light. It's going to be a much lighter show. It's not going to be attacking people. Attacking is when you want to defend yourself. And that's what I try to do. I try to defend myself. I'm not going to go after people if there's no reason to go after them. Okay, so yesterday, and FBS, if you're watching this, you did this to me yesterday. You said, Lee, if you're watching this, and I was, so I'm going to tell you the same thing. I do not mind having a break from you. We've been doing this for 6 months, FBS, 6 long months. And I think we really probably could use a break from one another. But here's what it comes down to. Yesterday, your first show, you said that you had no problem. If I don't say nothing to you, you won't say nothing to me. I have no issue with that. But then last night you did your second show and you were letting trolls, guys that were trolls, in your chat room. And I sent you an email and I gave you the name of some of those accounts, they were provoking you. And they were saying stupid stuff that wasn't true. Like I was attacking Angel, some other crap too. So you really gotta, nothing personal, dude, but you got to watch out for these trolls. They don't want us not fighting. And don't get me straight. I do not want to be your friend, and you do not want to be my friend. I don't give two shits about you. And you don't give two shits about me. Fine. Jimmy Klander and I don't give two shits about each other either. But you know what? Nothing's been going on there, so it can be done. But if you let these trolls control you, and that's what they are, and I'm not in your chat room. So your people in your chat room, they should know who these trolls are. They should keep better track of who they are. So this is never going to end if you can't control your chat room. And these trolls, let's think about this. I pretty much told JC I didn't want him around my show. That's it. We're done. But JC has troll accounts. And he's spiteful. So he's going to be trying to provoke trouble. And Nicasio Connection, I blocked you from my channel because you're a scumbag, dude. I was seeing all the remarks you were saying last night. I mean, dude, really? You were acting like a troll. Why are you so worried about Eyelight? What are you, like his best bud now? I did what I had to do with Eyelight. That's over. Now, whatever happens in Eyelight's life's his business. But don't try to say that I ratted them out, because no, I don't call cops. It might be said, but it's lies. I never have for anything on this. Ever. Never did I call Gene Barillo's parole officer. So, you hear all these things, and things were said in the beginning. But the fact of the matter, I never called Gene's parole officer. And Gene can confirm that. And he will soon. But Nicasio, dude, seriously? Chill the fuck out a little bit. I mean, the way you were acting in that chat room last night, you were acting like a little bitch. You kept over and over and over saying, Lee said that. I think Lee, how did Lee get this information? How did Lee get this information on Eyelight? Someone sent it to me, and I read it. No one called Eyelight. Eyelight gave his own self up. Eyelight was on his show and said a bunch of stupid things, and he got in trouble for it. Nobody gave Eyelight up. Eyelight gave Eyelight up. So this is going to be the last time I talk about this. I don't wish Eyelight to go to jail or prison. I hope it works out for him. That's it. But if Nicasio, if you want to keep it going like the little bitch you're acting like, go on. I used to like having you in here on my show. But I'm the one that decided to block you out of here. So, dudes, if he comes in, please. He was being a real dirtbag last night. Okay. Oh.
Hey. What's up?
That's on the wrong way.
No. Right way. Sorry I'm late. I was on the phone with a girl, so very good looking woman, and I couldn't get off, so I'm sorry.
You still needs Dad's permission for that to go down. Okay?
Listen,
and I'm not keen on my children dating if they're married. So if you don't get a divorce,
let's say it was true, okay? That
let's say
your daughter was beautiful.
She takes after her dad. Look at this face. What do you think?
The thought of having to call you dad would have me running the other way. I'd have to pass up on that.
Okay. Well, then I got to call you son.
You
Okay,
wouldn't
how's
want to
that?
do that. And
Okay,
besides, wait a minute. I'm only married in Staten Island. That doesn't hold water in the other 5 boroughs.
you know
Or
what I'm going
state.
to do? I'm going to start dressing like you. You know,
Listen, if you did that, maybe that girl Josie you like might want to get with you. Maybe we should do that. How about this? You let me hook up with your daughter, and I'll put in a good word with you for Josie. What do you think? I
no,
see
you
you
don't need to
cleaned
put
up a
dude.
little.
Dude, I've been married 3 times and been in another serious relationship like a marriage. I have no trouble getting women.
No, I'm not saying that. Look, man, I don't care what people say. Josie's a good looking lady.
Oh, she's a
And
beautiful
she's
woman.
smart.
Without a doubt, she's a
And
beautiful, smart woman. There's no doubt.
I didn't realize, I thought she was way younger. I thought she was like my age.
She does not look her age, dude. Not even close.
I know.
Not
I
even
thought
close.
she was my age. So, Lee, Josie, if you're listening and you get with this old man, and
Josie,
you do me a big favor, because then I could get with his daughter, and they'll keep everything quiet. You know what I mean? He'll
well,
be
I'll make a
happy.
deal with you. I'll make a deal with you. No matter what happens with Josie, probably has 10 guys knocking at her door. So, and I would be 11th in line. So no matter what, though, that has nothing to do, but you got to get that divorce first. Okay.
That could happen like tomorrow. That's easy. That's
Lee is
just
dying to
paperwork.
grab that house. Fucking wise asses, man.
But Josie's far from you too. But hey, for true love, you
Hey,
go
listen,
across the ocean, right?
when I lived down in Florida, I moved to Wisconsin for a woman. When I lived in New York, I moved to Florida for a woman. I mean, people do things for women. It's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and women do things for men too. I guess it's the way it
They
is. I
put up with
guess,
her.
but
Men think they run. Men think they're in charge. Women know they're in charge. That's the difference between men and women.
see,
Like
you know what?
you're
When you
upstairs right now. You're right where your wife wants you to be.
right, and she's right where I wanted to be. She's out right now. So it's crazy to me because God is whatever, right? So He controls everything. So you get married as a man, right? So when you get married, why do married men still look at women and like, oh, she's nice? You know what I mean? It's like that whole temptation thing. I don't know if God. So now I'm thinking maybe the Muslims are right. The Muslims say you could have like 4 wives. You know what I mean? Is
Oh,
that what
well,
God
listen.
really wanted?
Yeah, but who the hell would want to be married more than once? I mean, who'd want more than one wife? You got to be nuts to want more than one wife.
No, I agree. But what I'm saying is if you're a Muslim, you could be married and get with other women. You don't have to marry those women.
A Mazda? If you're a Mazda? What the fuck? Someone's.
A Muslim.
Oh, I thought you said a Mazda.
Muslim. No. No,
Okay.
Muslim. Like Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam.
Okay. Well,
Those type
listen.
of guys.
I'm waiting for a few more people to get in here before we start our conversation. 101 in the house right now. Thank you. Okay. Listen, I'm blessed. I want people to know that I feel blessed that I can come on and have a nice crowd every day, no matter what. That really means a lot to me. Joe's starting to go through the same thing now.
No, I'm buying mine. I'm taking the easy way out.
Well, okay. Well, we all know that your character is beyond that, Joe.
Thank you.
Okay, another thing.
It.
I got something going on the 24th and the 25th. I can't really say what it is right now, but I'm going to be.
I know what it is.
I'm going out to that liberal shithole called California.
Going
land of
back
sitting in the
Cali. See, this is where we got to play some music now. We got to have like a little going back to Cali playing right now. You're gonna love Cali.
NB, you told me that you had stuff to do, but the minute you hear Joe's going to be the guest, you're here. What the hell?
Ding, 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 ding.
Okay. Damn.
Let me tell you, she is so smart, that girl. Let me tell you.
God, Joe.
Oh, man.
You're like a little school kid in the schoolyard that's like you just found in 5th grade. You got that little girl in the corner you got a crush on.
No, it's the other way around. The girl in the corner has a crush on me, and she's beating me up.
Everybody, look at Joe's hat. The more he gets in love, the more his beak goes toward the back.
We all have tells in life, and that's mine. You know what I mean? So we all have tells.
In someone just asked me what part of California. It's going to be in Burbank. So, but one thing I learned, I'm not going to say nothing about who it is or what it is until I'm doing it. And you guys are going to have a nice surprise, and it's going to be very fun.
Hi,
really, really fun.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome, man. It's going to be great.
Yeah. So, and everything, you know, I'm glad when Joe wants to come on here. You know why? Because he has the good attitude. He kind of gives me a lift. You know, there's certain people that I like to bring on that gives me a lift. I know they're not going to hurt the show because, you know, when I used to have the guy that betrayed me on, I used to get a shitload of emails. Get him the fuck off. What are you doing with him on? You know, I don't get that with Joe. All I get is like, that dude's hat looks stupid. And why that 50-year-old man dressed like he's 10? You know, I get those little remarks, but that's it. You know, you look like you went to the park when you were 10 and you just kept the same, you know, like that movie like Big with Tom Hanks.
I know.
Yeah, you just kept the same clothes on.
Every day, same clothes. Same watch, same underwear, same socks.
Here's the big question. How would you have liked to have dated Constance Castellano? Would you have liked to have dated her back in the day?
Absolutely not. No.
I'll tell you why. And Big Paul Castellano, you always hear people say Paul Castellano was some kind, he wasn't like a gangster or killer and stuff like that. People do not understand what a vicious man Paul Castellano was.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Paul Castellano, when he wanted something done, he went to Roy DeMeo.
Nice.
You know, let's remember that. You know, Roy DeMeo, the murder machine, the most ruthless people going. But he did not just kill one of his daughter's suitors. He also killed the ex-husband who he found out used to beat his daughter. And we'll get into that one first, but it's very interesting. There was two things, you know, the second one we'll talk about. But first, we're going to talk about, Frank Amato. Now, Frank Amato was her ex-husband. And Big Paulie found out that he was very abusive to his daughter. And so he asked Roy DeMeo to take care of it. And he disappeared. No one ever seen him again. But then when one of DeMeo's guys came out, started cooperating and giving information, and he said that he was killed and they chopped him up. Roy DeMeo chopped him up and they got rid of the body. And he was never seen again by nobody. And so that's Frank D'Amato. Frank D'Amato's taken out like that. And Frank Amato.
Frank Amato.
Huh?
Frank Amato.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so Roy DeMeo did the hit. But see, that's not the really good hit. The better hit is Vito Borelli. Now, let me show you some pictures. I'm going to show you these characters, people, just so we have an idea who we're talking about. Okay. There's a string of people in this story. So let's just show some pictures to give you an idea. Okay. This is Paul Castellano with his daughter, Constance, or Connie.
Very pretty.
Yes, and that's Connie. You did not want her to date her. The chances are you were going to have a very bad breakup.
Yeah.
Okay. Joe Messina was involved in this because he was asked to help get rid of the first person. This is Frank Amato. This is the ex-husband that he killed. This is the guy that disappeared. And the people involved in these two killings were John Gotti, Roy DeMeo, as we know. Roy DeMeo took out Frank Amato. But on the first one, Vito Borelli, people say John Gotti never killed nobody. But it was testified in court, to the FBI, and with a witness backing up. It was Joe Messina that said it, that Gotti killed and Joe Watts. It was Gotti and Joe Watts that took out Vito. And so tell us what you know about that, Joe.
Well, I'll say one thing. It was rumored that Joe Watts said that John Gotti took him on his first piece of work. Now, what would that tell you? If you knew anything about Joe Watts, he was like a hitman's hitman. You know what I mean? He was like top shelf.
Yep.
Now, John Gotti took him on his first piece of work. Well, what does that tell you about John Gotti then?
And it's another one
for killing people.
It's another one of those silly rumors. There's even some evidence, but it's not proven, that John Gotti's the one that put the bullet in Tommy Simone's head. So, no one knows whether that's true because, and for you that don't know who Tommy Simone was, he was in Goodfellas, played by Joe Pesci.
Tommy D. Simone. Yep. So
you have a guy, John Gotti, that people try to say that he didn't use a gun. Come on,
right.
People. You don't become the boss of the family if you did not take someone out and do some work. You're not with Neil Delacroix and not take somebody out. It's the most ridiculous thing if anybody believes this.
And you don't have Johnny Kniggs and Tony Roach and Fat Sally, and you tell them, look, you don't take this guy out, you're dead. Trust me.
Yeah, and
you gotta have some power to get those guys to move.
John Gotti is respected by the most vicious killer crew, probably one of the most vicious killer crews ever. So John Gotti's respected by these killers. So what do you think? These killers are going to respect John Gotti because he never killed nobody? How stupid does that sound? It's all BS. And these are the times you got to call Sammy Gavano out because, Sammy, sorry, but I have a funny feeling that John Gotti probably put more bullets in people's heads than Sammy Gavano. What would you think about that?
He didn't. He said that. He said no. John would, because someone asked him. He says no. John would kill someone in 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, he did say that.
In his head, but
he said that John only killed one person. He thinks.
Well, that's pretty good then, because in that life you don't want people knowing, because if what happens when the problem I have, I was having this debate yesterday with some people. Everybody thinks John Gotti. Well, the guy we're talking about was sitting in his living room, and the feds were listening to everything. Another guy that was a stand-up guy that was closed-lipped, they bugged his car, okay? I mean, these guys all talked and got caught. And the other thing is, no matter what John Gotti did was no different than any other boss. He killed the boss, and he also died in jail, because they all died in jail. They either die in jail or on the street.
And how many bosses did Lucky Luciano kill? Two of the biggest bosses. He set them both up within 6 months of each other.
Mm-hmm.
And those two killings were just as big as the Castellano killing for that day. Because those two guys ran New York, and Lucky Luciano was smart enough to set them both up to be killed, literally. Old Lucky was a smart dude. So getting back to Paul Castellano, So this guy's name, I can't find no pictures of Vito Borelli. So if anybody has any pictures, please. But I looked everywhere. I could not find one. But anyway, so Vito Borelli was the boyfriend of Constance Castellano. And it got back to Paul Castellano that he said that Paul Castellano looked like Frank Perdue. Let me show you a picture of Frank Perdue. Okay. Okay. And so, anybody would get mad being said, you see Perdue Chicken? This is the guy that started the company. That's Frank Perdue.
I can see the resemblance.
Yeah. Oh, without a doubt. Look at the nose and stuff. I mean, and just so people know, Frank Perdue was actually involved with the mob quite a bit. He wound up owing them a lot of money. They kind of they took over his little empire. The mob was behind Frank Perdue controlling that chicken empire. And he owed a lot of money, and people think he was some multimillionaire, but he owed so much money to the mob that he really wasn't. Okay, so let me get back to the story. Okay, so he hears this. So at this time, the Bonanos are on the outs with all of the mob. So the Bonanos want back in. So what they do is they set up a hit with the Gambinos involved with the Bonanos. And the Bonanos are like, they're happy. So they go to Joe Messino, and then Joe Messino goes and gives it to the Gambinos, and Gotti gets it along with Joe Watts and a couple other guys. Anthony Rabito. Is that his name? How do you pronounce his last name?
Anthony
Rabito?
Rubino. He was with the Joe Messino. Those guys.
Yeah. So
Anthony Rubino. Anthony Rubito. Yep.
Yeah. He had a cookie shop.
Yeah, I knew him.
Yeah. You knew him?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, the funny story is when I lived in Vegas, I met him for the first time, and I was introduced to him. He had just got at. This was like right about the time Donnie Brasco was coming out. He came out to Vegas. You know, I knew him, like not knew him. I met him, right? So I met him in Vegas, hung out with him a little bit, and my friend, was friends with him. Then I moved here. I was in Nathan's on 86th Street in Brooklyn having lunch. 20 years later, who's in Nathan's? Anthony Rubito.
Oh,
that was like about 5 years ago.
And Anthony Rubito in Midtown Manhattan had a cookie shop. And so he got Vito Borelli to go there, and Vito Borelli liked him. So Vito Borelli trusted him. And when they got there, John Gotti was waiting for him, along with Joe Watts. Mm-hmm. How would you like to walk into a room and John Gotti and Joe Watts are waiting for you? The chances are you're not coming out of that room. Those are probably two of the last guys you want waiting for you. And they killed him, just like that. And it's an amazing story because can you imagine being a friend and making fun of her father? She went back and told the father, Dad, this guy, and she was laughing, joking around. Dad, this guy thinks you look like Frank Perdue. People, they got back other ways. It didn't. It got back from her. So think about it.
It had to be more than that, though. Or you think that would just be enough to do that? I mean,
no, there's something else going on.
Yeah, I mean, but then again, who knows? He was very he was quick to kill people. That's a fact.
Yeah, so when you hear that, Paul Castellano was some kind of softy, you got to remember when they set Paul Castellano up, he was in his 70s. So he wasn't on top of his game anymore. He was sick. He was a very sick man. And, let's remember, too, Paul Castellano lived in this huge house, and he was having an affair with the hot maid. I don't know if she was hot.
Hot maid.
I like to put that in there. You see a picture of her, right? She wasn't a hot people. She looked like the maid that Arnold Schwarzenegger was banging in California.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean,
they had
what the hell?
Yeah, I know.
They were both banging very homely maids. But,
She was Colombian, and let me tell you, Colombian women are beautiful, but he got the worst fucking one ever because she looked like shit. She looked like stir-fried shit, man. I'm telling you, it was.
And what did he do? And you know, he was so in love with her that he went out and got a penis pump. You know, and you know what's funny though? You hear Sammy Gravano tells the story that he went into the room. Paul Castellano brought him in the room and told him about the penis pump, and then and Sammy says that he told him to show him how it works. Did you see that one?
That wasn't Paul. That was one of his friends in a bar or some shit.
But the show was based on Castellano. He was using it.
Yeah, but he said that he said it was filled up with water or some shit. I'm like, water? What the fuck is water? I don't know. So, maybe I need to try one of those.
It was kind of weird. You know, it was kind of weird when Sammy said that, because what man goes into a room and asks another man to show him how he pumps up his penis with a penis pump?
So I was at the doctor. I was at the doctor, and he was
at the doctor, and you got a penis
He was
pump?
grabbing my nuts. I'll tell you off camera what he said, but it was fucking stupid. I'm laughing at the guy like, really? You tell fucking your patients that? Yeah.
Okay. Someone said, Lee, nothing personal, but yeah, actually, Mama Luke, yes, the women I was married to were actually pretty beautiful women. So
they all had one thing in common.
What's that?
They had fucking, what's that shit called? Where you can't see. What is it called? Not blind, but it's like cataracts or some shit. I forget what the name of it is.
Look at this.
When you're blind, basically.
Amber Alert said the maid looked like Nadeau. Jeff, I love you, Jeff, but I had to put that up.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Jeff came on the show last night, and BK Shalin attacked him, man. Let me tell you. He was like ferocious. I had to no, it was just a joke. They were joking. Just, it was joking. Jeff's a good sport. Macular degeneration. That's it.
Well, Jeff was happy today because he told me that he's moving out of his mother's basement and he's getting a nice, beautiful apartment in a nice big city. I don't like that. Jeff will tell you the city if he wants to, but
he's moving out of what?
He was joking. He said, I'm moving out because you know how they're always saying that he lives with his mom and dad.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right.
He doesn't. He actually has his own place.
Well, I'm thinking he does because how old is Jeff? He's got to be in his 30s, right?
Yeah. He's not that old.
He's rich, Jeff.
Right.
Down you.
Okay, let's read some. I think Paul's Gumad was. No, I'm not going to. Hey, guys, listen. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to pull up no FBS remarks. Let's see if he does it to me tonight. Last night on the second show, he pulled up a shitload of them on me. And that's after he told me that he wasn't going to come after me anymore. And I'm like, what the hell? What do you mean? You pulled up like 10, 15 remarks by your chat room. And listen, the people in FBS's chat room, can you find somebody else to talk about besides me? Seriously. It's kind of, you know what it's like? I go over there to watch the show and every other remark, lead this, lead that. I'm a 61-year-old man. What the fuck do you find so fascinating about me?
61? That's it?
Fuck
shit, I thought you were older than that. Fuck.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what I could do? I could look younger and wear my hat on my head sideways.
But you know what happens at that you can't get away from that mug of yours. So I don't know. You could put a fucking 24 karat gold diamond encrusted crown on your head and that wouldn't help you. So
listen.
Nothing's gonna help.
When you get to a certain point, you see my moles getting lighter. Look at that. Look at that. Notice how it got lighter?
But that's it's like the Madonna mole.
You know what that is, right? That's just a regular birthmark.
Oh, I thought it was a wart.
It's a birthmark.
No, it's not a wart. Oh, that's cool.
It's not a wart. It's not a mole. It's a birthmark, people.
Oh, stop. They're saying that it's hepatitis C, all this herpes simplex type F. You know what I mean? Come on. It's a joke. It's a birthmark.
Oh, I thought you must be saying that to Vinny. I think Lee has herpes and
No, 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 no. I'm not saying that.
damn. Hey, NB says, Dad, enough of that talk. What? Penis pumps?
Uh,
Okay.
Lee, I want to know if it's okay if I take your daughter out this weekend to dinner. What do you think?
Yes. Yes.
All right. Because I'm
Yeah.
going to fly to California this
Okay.
week, and then we'll have dinner, and then I'll fly back.
Okay. But the odds are, if you fly to California, you're probably going to have a hard time finding her.
Why? She's not in Cali?
Sammy's probably looking for one now, a penis pump. Look, people, I can't
Told
even
me
get
she
this
was
guy.
in Cali.
I can't even get this guy. That's all he does is think about MB all day now.
That's it.
I mentioned MB, his cheeks turn red, his face turns red.
No, that's just I'm getting, I'm fat and like, I get
Hey,
red.
listen, have you heard anything about Constant Castellano now, where she is or anything like that?
Staten Island, and I
Right?
think she's like in her 80s.
Are you
At this
serious? That
point.
old now?
She's that old now. Yep. Yep. She's like early 80s. Yeah, and I think as a matter of fact, she's a grandmother. Like her grandkids are like recently at a high school because someone I knew was talking about them. So they're probably in their mid-20s or whatever. Yeah. I mean, I don't know much more about them because they're very private. It's not
Here's
like
a question. Yeah, imagine how she feels knowing how her father died. That's pretty tough for a family when your father's on TV like that, laying in the front of a steakhouse,
that's
dead.
crazy. Yeah.
But one good thing about him, he didn't suffer. I mean, he was probably
Yeah.
dead before he hit the ground.
But you know what? If you see that, I was talking about it the other day, the picture of
Stop
his
playing with
face.
your phone. You're doing a show. What's up with you and your phone?
Who, me?
Are you texting MB?
No, Vinny called me, so I wanted to make sure he's not telling me that he's doing a show now, because I don't know if he's. You wanted me to
Okay.
get in touch with him. I tried getting in touch with him. He just got back to me like 2 minutes ago, so I don't know if he's going live now or. But what I was saying about Paul Castellano and his voice is, his face, he looked very scared. Like he looked in shock. You know what I mean? When they came up on him, his eyes were like wide open. I don't know. He just didn't look like he died, like, not knowing what was happening.
And Bilotti looked like Fredo in the scene in The Godfather when the Godfather got shot and Fredo comes out. And can you imagine Bilotti had no gun on him that night? I mean, you're the Godfather. This is when people don't realize you can't ever let your guard down if you're that.
A gun but even if he had a gun, it wouldn't have helped them. They were dead.
Oh, definitely not. Maybe it would have helped him. Who knows? We don't know.
First of all, you really have to put it in context. It was Midtown Manhattan. They were going to Sparks Steakhouse. Now, should he have had guards with them? Yeah, but if you were not going to have guards, that probably would be the place. That was the most unsuspecting. He caught him like completely off guard. He did it in front of 1,000 people. It wasn't a hidden thing, you know what I mean? So that's why he was able to get them both.
Do you think that Constance knew that her father took these guys out or suspected it?
Definitely. Definitely. Not told, but come on. Come on.
Can you, Mama Luke likes to say, Lee, what family out of the 5 do you like the most? Probably the Gambinos, because they were, I don't know, they were an exciting family. And
your boss is really hot.
Your boss is really Jenny Patterson. Okay, no racism talk, guys. Here, come on. I watched Jeff Nadeau this morning. I think he won. The judges fucked up.
Yeah, he would have won. If it was a track meet, Jeff won, but it was a boxing match, so he lost.
If that fight won another round because that dude Jersey Jersey Jerry was getting
Yeah.
tired. He was
Oh,
Jeff
yeah.
had more endurance going in at the end of the third round than granted it was a god awful fight and the punches were going everywhere except on her face. But
Man, you like
so
Jeff. I didn't
let
see
me ask
that.
you, let me ask you a question. Do you think that your boxing skills are good? Do you think if you got in a ring that you would throw punches like over your head, looking like a girly man?
What?
If you got in a ring, how would your punches look?
Well, let me put it to you this way. If I was getting in a ring, my punches would look possibly better than what they're looking now, because if I knew I had 2-3 months to get ready, I'd fucking watch Rocky maybe like 100 times or something. You know what I mean? Drink fucking raw eggs. I would have did something. By the time I got in the ring, I'd have been prepared.
So if you
The
could
other
fight,
guy was a cigarette smoker. I mean,
okay,
so I don't know. Would like, how can you
Joe, say
smoke
someone
and get
say
into a
someone
ring?
came to you. Say they were putting to this mob 2 fight card together, and they
Mhm.
came to you and they said, "Look, Joe, we're gonna give you tell us who you want to fight. We'll go offer them money. We'll give you 3 months to train. Who would you
Mhm.
want to fight?"
On MobTube?
Yes, on everybody involved.
Okay. So this one's easy, okay? Because if you consider me a YouTuber, how many content creators dislike me that you know of? So any one of them would be my logical choice. So I'm going to have to say it'd probably be Chris would be the one that I would get in the ring with, because I wouldn't like Jeff Nadeau. I don't know. He's a friend of mine. So would I want to box a friend? I mean, I don't know. I'd probably want to get in there and mix it up with someone that didn't like me. So who are the people? Maybe I'm crazy and there's a lot of content creators that dislike me, but I don't think there's that many. So I guess that would be the logical thing, right? Me and Chris?
And
Or
you
me
guys
and
get to train.
Gunsmoke?
You guys get to train 3 months. I think that would be
Yeah.
a good fight, actually.
I guess maybe. All right. So to make it fair, okay? To make it a fair fight, okay? Chris and Gunsmoke at the same time. That would make it fair. Like I would box both of them at the same time.
Here's Giovanni Luini. Little known historical fact: after Maranzano was killed, immigration rounded up 900 Italians and deported in response, my grandfather included. He made it back to the U.S. That's an interesting fact. I mean, that's interesting to know. Grant Calder. Hey, Grant, who would you want to box if you could? But you got to show up. You got to show your face, Grant. We want to know, Grant, who is it that you would want to box if you were offered? And they flew you in from wherever you are, put you up in a motel in New York City. They put it in Madison Square Garden.
6'1", douche.
Oh, he's still talking about Mob 2, about Jeff and the IRA. You guys are fucking, come on, really? Okay. Lee Mulder, turd, you are a terrible troll. You need to brush up on your skills, homie. Okay.
Redzilla, my kind of dude.
Yeah, he's going off on Lee Calder turd. Yeah, it's someone's name out there. You know how many trolls have Lee in their name on it's amazing. Maybe 40, 50. Lee, no, I can be very honest with you, Captain. Lee and FBS are not working behind the scenes. We really do not like each other. There's no chance of us being friends. Nothing.
Right.
Hopefully, we can leave each other alone for a while and do our
Yeah.
shows like today, more relaxing, not the negativity. But the reality is, Captain, I would swear on anything you put in front of me that I cannot stand FBS and FBS can't stand me. It's like the fight going on tomorrow. where you hear the rumors that what's his name? Masvidal and Covington are faking it. There's no fake about that. And if you've seen them at that press conference yesterday, you would understand they really hate each other. And it's the same way with me and Chris. So no FBS, no captain.
I don't hate FBS. That's what's crazy. Like I just don't. Chris doesn't hate me. Chris doesn't hate me. No, Chris doesn't hate me. It's just if I talk about him, his people get at him, and then it's like he's got to respond. And same thing with me. But I just don't like some of the things he's done. But really, do I hate him? No, there's no animosity. I mean,
and the trolls want to keep it going. The trolls will do everything to keep it going.
Right.
You know, especially MB for the unemployment. The Sit Down Syndrome podcast, is he? I must check. Okay, guys, let's read some more of these. I don't want to fall too far behind today. I hope that you guys enjoyed our little story about Castellano. But basically, he wasn't a wimp like people make him out to be. John Gotti picked the perfect time to hit him, like Joe said, on a Christmas week in Manhattan, back when Christmas meant something. You got to understand, in 1985, Christmas, you know, the economy was at its best. 1985, Ronald Reagan was president. The economy started turning.
Rush hour.
Everybody had money. It was rush hour. Then you got Stark Steakhouse. You got people shopping everywhere. It was the perfect place to do a hit. It really was. It was a brilliant idea. Whoever came up with the idea, whether it was Sammy, which a lot of people say no, but it was a very good idea.
Yeah.
Okay, I have to go. Cheers, Joey Electric. Oh, David Cameron. You know what, David Cameron? I'm going to tell you something, David Cameron. I seen you last night in FBS's room. You were saying some real horrible shit about me, dude.
Was he?
Oh yeah.
Dave Cameron? He seems like he's a very nice guy, Dave Cameron.
Yeah, but let me tell you something. When you watch people and the stuff they do in other chat rooms and what they say about people, you learn a lot. That's why it's good to watch sometimes.
Yeah.
Nicasio last night was being ruthless toward me. David was, but you know what, David? We're still going to let you in here. We're not going to block you. You don't treat me that way in here, but you do treat me pretty bad when you're in FBS's room. Nothing personal, dude, but I seen your remarks last night. How stop sending pictures of the junk? Oh, no. Actually, from what we hear, Jeff Nadeau has just signed a contract to start making porno movies. So keep in touch. He said he's going to put his information out there.
That would be interesting.
Here's another question. Joe, say you could pick the fight. Say someone came to you and said, okay, you could pick the fight on MobTube of two guys going in the ring and fighting. What two guys would you pick?
Well,
anybody that's ever been associated with this.
Okay, so one of them. Okay, so I just got a text message. You got to give me a second. I got to gather myself real quick.
You and that damn phone. What are you in love with your phone?
So, okay, so how I would think about it is, who is a fighter? Okay, so I would probably say Jimmy Calandra would be one. And who else is a fighter? Maybe Jeff. I know they're a different size.
Are you kidding me?
Well, no. Jeff is a boxer. He knows how to train for boxing.
That would be a wipeout. I mean, come on. We know. I'm talking about something
Why
that
would
would
it
be
be
good.
a wipeout?
Jimmy would. I like Jeff, but Jeff would not take Jimmy.
No, but Why? Because of the size or because of
Yes,
him?
because of the size.
Well, that's
And
what I'm
Jeff
saying. I
and
don't
Jim
know how big
and
Jimmy is.
Jimmy's
I don't know
Jimmy
how
is
big
a street
Jimmy is.
fighter. Jimmy is in the streets.
But
So
that's the thing is, it's not wouldn't be in the streets. It'd be in the ring. Just because you're a street fighter doesn't mean you could get in the ring and win. It's two different things. So street fighting is completely different. But I don't know. Okay, so that was a bad matchup. Okay, I don't know. I was just figuring, like, who do I know has some fight experience? Like, I seen videos of Jimmy. I know he's into MMA.
that
Tony
would be like
Pizza.
your fight right there would like be putting that would be like putting Usman in the ring with
All right.
one of the Diaz brothers.
How about Tony Pizza and FBS? Wait, no, they're best friends now, so maybe that's not a good one.
They're not best friends.
Tony, they're not?
No. They're
Tony
not. They just
Pizza.
they
All
just
right,
get
wait a
along.
minute. I got it.
They-
Josephine Lee versus Tony Pizza.
I put my money on Josie.
Definitely.
Josie, probably early second round knockout.
I told Josie, I said, Josie, you got that cute face and a nice smile, but man, you're a beast when it comes to dealing with these dudes.
You heard
You're
some
all afraid of her.
you heard of some of her stories about back in England, right? I mean,
Honestly, I don't think she's afraid to fucking fight a dude. Like, I could honestly say, like, she would probably, I don't know how well she would do, but I don't think she'd back down. You know her, Lee. I mean, I don't know. She seems like
I know her as well as you do. I know her from here,
no, but I'm saying you talk to her, you have a relationship with her, right?
No.
You don't dream about her at night and stuff?
No, I'm at the age where if I dream, I might not wake up. It takes up too much energy. Okay.
Listen, all you need is a little bit of Viagra. And
no, I don't need that. No, I don't need that. Okay.
All right. So what you need to get her is, okay, you need Viagra and a blindfold.
Dude,
but the blindfold's not for you. The blindfold's for her.
Okay. I'm going to take love advice from a guy that's sitting up in his room and his wife and him are never together. And you're always away from her. You're always on these shows. Come on. Maybe maybe I should take that advice because you're still married. Maybe I really should take that advice.
Well, here's the thing, okay? I don't want to bring her on screen.
Definitely not.
That's how you listen, I'm up here. That's how look, it's COVID right now, right? So we're around each other 24/7. We'd be divorced if that was the case. You need time away and then come back together. You know what I mean? So it works. But we're in the same household, so
that's what my second wife said. We need time, and then we'll get back together. Once she left, I never seen her again. She just said that to get out the door.
Got you your Dear John letter, huh?
Yeah, well,
Look, if my wife left me, there's a God.
Joe, if your wife left you, would you be one of those men that fall apart and start crying and stuff?
Honestly?
Yes.
Absolutely fucking not. I'd be calling the police. Can you hook me up with your daughter?
John O'Reilly says the hardest part of Joe versus Chris is Chris would have to give up cigarettes and Joe would have to give up snacks.
No, say no. Then it won't work then. I was at the doctor today. I weighed myself. 6'1", 190. Oh my God. 6'1", 190. He'd get hurt. I don't need to be in shape at that weight.
Hey, Lee Cole the Turd, welcome. Today we are going to talk about Paul Castellano. You know what? We just gave more information about that whole thing then a lot of shows would take a half hour. So,
And we talked about his penis pump too.
And we talked about a penis pump. We talked about a couple things. We're talking about Joe hating his wife.
Yeah. Inquiring minds want to know.
So, do you and your wife sleep in the same bed, or do you have like Edith and Archie Bunker? Do you have separate beds?
Separate rooms. I separate beds, separate rooms. I sleep with my dogs. This is my guy right here. See this little guy right here, Milo? That's my little boy. He loves his. You know why? Because if I leave and come back, I've had him for 8 years. There has never been one time when he's not jumped all over me when he's seen me. In the morning when he gets up, hugs me, kisses me, loves me, no matter what. Can you say that about any of your wives or any other human being?
No, my dogs are the same way with me.
So you know what? That's who I'm married to. I'm married to my dogs.
You know what I do every night at 6 o'clock? And this is one of the reasons I don't do shows at night. I take my dogs for a ride, and we go out for about an hour and a half. We have our usual routine. We watch the sun go down, which is beautiful here in Texas. And as the season gets longer, I check when the sun's going down, and I take my dogs out. They love it, and we go for a ride. It's really nice. I mean,
I wish I would have done that.
Yeah, it's just
You're
really
afraid to get in the car. You're afraid.
I'm in a good spot too. I'm in the country, and so it's really beautiful. A matter of fact, I put a video up last night of it, but I took it down. It's a 15-second video. The dogs are hanging out the window. The sun's coming down, and my little Polly's barking at me. But we all love our dogs, and if we could love the people in our life as much as we love our dogs, everything would be so much better.
Yes, Milo. Someone said that, Joe, if I was your wife, I would leave you for dressing like a 7-year-old African American. Well, shit down, podcast. What happens if she is African American? Then would she leave me? You don't know if she's white or black or green.
And Turd Bird, I got to call you. Okay, hold up. Turd Bird, I got to call you on this. Angel gets money, and she puts it toward the dogs, some dog foundation. She has cats, she has dogs, and she's really good with animals. So, Turd Bird, I understand you're here a lot, but please don't put remarks like that because it's not true.
I want to get in touch with Angel. I want to reach out to
anybody. Okay, well, I'm not going to reach out to Angel, but no one can ever talk about her with animals. And that's why sometimes I regret fighting with her because of the fact that she's good with animals. I love people that love animals. So that tells you sometimes people are fighting for stupid reasons, but animal people are usually decent people. That's just how I look at it.
She's someone that I never had a problem with her or her family. I just want to tell her, everything about her, I don't have a problem with. So if she said that she doesn't have a problem with me because of a content creator, well, then I'm going to tell her that, you know what? I was wrong for saying that, and I don't have a problem with you. I don't badmouth her. I don't talk about her. I like her. I respect her family.
Well, you might be telling her right now, Joe. So, a lot of people, she might be watching this, and Angel watches to make sure that we treat her family with respect.
Angel, if I said anything disrespectful about your family or your brother, I 100% apologize, and that's all I could say. I really just don't have it to go at her. I mean, I'm just not, because like I said, I know her before the YouTube, like I've seen her or whatever. The whole Ryan situation, she commented on that, and that's right. But you know what? You don't know the whole situation. And if you knew the whole situation, then you would be then you could speak on it. Because don't just think that what you saw on the TV or what you saw on YouTube is what happened, because there was stuff that happened behind the scenes and you're only getting half the story. And you know what else? I'll probably talk to Ryan today, and who knows, I might be doing shows with him again tomorrow. So don't jump out the window and don't jump to conclusions, because you don't know what's going on, just like I don't know what's going on with other people. And I want to apologize to her.
Well, you've done it. And,
Yep.
you know, pretty Monita. Lee, you're right. The holidays meant more back then. It wasn't so commercialized. You know, back then you had the old Times Square was still in existence. But what they did is they tore down everything in New York in that area. And Disney came in and spent several $billion and just tore, and it became so commercialized. So it doesn't have any of that feel anymore that it used to have back in the day. It, you know, and now it's starting to get bad again because of the way they're doing it. Don't get me wrong. They had to tear down the old Times Square. You know, you could be sitting in the movie theaters and the rats would run by your feet and they're as big as cats. Still have people talking shit to me about it, Monita, just making sure the proof is out there. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, they are finished, showed themselves up. Grant, you know what? The best thing to do is just put that behind you. And that's it. You know, people have their mind made up. Nobody's going to, very few people change their mind here. So I hope you go through the same way you troll. If you do, then I know your mama is disappointed. They're having a troll fight out there. Hey, we like, you know, I like to, if we have some boxing matches, I like to put a couple trolls in the ring.
Oh, yeah.
That would be fun.
Like who? Like what trolls?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Because you know what? Here's the thing with trolls. You really don't know. You can have like Redzilla. Redzilla might be a midget. He might be at home and he might be sitting on real high chairs to reach his keyboard. We don't know who Redzilla is. We have not seen what he looks like. We would be shocked if we seen what people look like behind these names. Wouldn't you think that, Joe? You know, one thing about me. Yeah.
Well, wait. Shocked? No. Okay, because we're not going to get many Brad Pitts or Bill McPhersons, if you know what I mean. I'd probably be quite. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I know who's behind.
Yeah, what would you do if MB looked like Precious?
Let me tell you something.
So Joe's been in love with Precious.
Wait a minute? Seriously though, like, do you think NB's pretty, or like, what do you like? Let's say you'd never seen her before.
She's my daughter. Of course she's pretty.
Okay, good. I've never seen her before, so the initial thing is like, no, she's 412 pounds. She's got like that cigarette talk, you know what I mean? Like the raspy voice, you know what I mean? She looks like shit, but I don't know. If I ever see her one day, I don't know. She said she lives in Cali. I don't think they have ugly girls in Cali. Definitely not Los Angeles.
They're not ugly girls in Cali. You know what state I've seen the most beautiful women I've ever been in?
Whichever one you went to?
No, I've been in every state in this country. Every one, literally. I spent the summer about 6 years ago. I got in my car and I put my three kids at that time were in the military, all in different states. So I touched my tires in 48 states. And I had and it took me 2 months driving around the country. And I did this during the summer. But three of my kids, they were in, one son was in Fort Benning. The other one was in Virginia. And my daughter was out in California. And I literally went to see all three of my children that were at their bases at that time, or at their home, at the home base, basically. One of my sons was down in Fort Benning. That wasn't his home base. That was his training base. But the only thing about Fort Benning, I went down there in the summer. Georgia, I live in Florida. Let me tell you something. Georgia 100 degrees with 100% humidity. Everybody looks miserable because of the heat. No one's smiling. You get out of your car in Georgia in the summer, you get soaking wet. I mean, it's just a horrible place to live. Maybe in the fall it looks beautiful, but in the summer it is brutal. I don't see how anybody could stand that heat. I'm here in Texas, which has a totally different kind of heat than Georgia. But let's get back to what people, yes, people, listen, it would be hilarious if everybody came on here one day and decided to show their face. Like everybody in the chat room says, okay, I'm going to show you what I look like today. Wouldn't it? Joe, get the fuck off the phone already.
Jeez, fucking no! This internet shit is like, are we fucking on like a 3-minute fucking like ahead? The minute I make a comment, I get messages. It's amazing.
Joe, put your phone down. See, you know what that does to your health?
NB, I'll call you later. All right.
He's on this fucking NB kick.
No, you're on the NB kick.
No,
I just want to fucking twist you. I don't talk to her. I wish I did, but I don't.
Look at him.
Okay, let's go ahead now.
I am so mad at you, MB. Look what you created. I mean, this is sad. Okay? Now, what are you going to do when you find out MB's a dude?
Proceed.
MB's a 62. Is a 70-year-old.
I mean, what difference does it make at this point?
NB's a 70-year-old man with an oxygen. With oxygen coming out of his nose, and he has his white ears all fucked up and messed up, and you're in love with that. You're in love with a 70-year-old man on oxygen. What do you think?
See what she said? Look at what she said. She says, I'm dating Joey as much as Lee is my dad. I think. I don't know. She said, wait, there it is. I'm dating Joey just as much as Lee is my dad. See?
Yeah. Joe,
that answers it right there.
Sit down syndrome says, Joe, I was busting your chops, but you have said 100 times you was all Italian. Plus, I love how you dress. It reminds me how I used to dress in the 90s when I wanted to be a soul brother. Thank you for the $9.90.
Oh man,
Joe, you
listen, man. Look, why don't you just come out and admit it that you're fucking lonely? Come on, just say it, because you're hinting around right now. You're busting my chops. You love how I dress. 90s.
Mama
I
Luke,
wish it was the 90s.
Mama Luke, I'm gonna drop you to. I'd like you to come in here and show us
at
what
the
you
bottom. These are skinny sweats.
Lee, who would you want to face in the ring on Mob Tube? Tony, without a doubt. Without a doubt, I wouldn't even hesitate. It would be something I would love to do. Wouldn't even think twice about it. That would be the one. I'm a little bit older than Tony, but I'm bigger. Definitely stronger. 3 months to work out. It wouldn't be pretty. But yes, Tony. But he wouldn't give up smoking. So I would definitely pick a smoker because I don't smoke and I don't drink and I don't take drugs. I'm pretty clean when it comes to that stuff. I'm just a big guy. But in general, though, I don't do those things that kill you.
How big are you, Lee? Like, how tall are you?
5'11".
All right, so you're really 5'6". How much do you weigh?
Oh, I'm 5'11". I'm 5'11".
You're 5'11"? You're pretty
5'11".
big.
I'm a big guy, yes. I weigh
You're
180
really
pounds. I weigh 180 pounds.
Holy shit. You're as
pounds.
Whoa, wait a minute.
I can't even remember the last time I weighed 180 pounds. I weighed 180 pounds. I weighed 180 pounds probably when I was married, my first marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I get, see, the thing is, against you, I just give you a little rib shot, and that'd be it for you, right? And I hit you in the solar plexus, and it'd be over. You'd be like Blue when he got into the ring with the fucking and the mud wrestling.
Well, how tall are you, Joe? Joe, first of all, I wouldn't.
6 foot, maybe 6 or a little taller than 6.
I'm not gonna. I wouldn't fight anybody under 50. They'd have to be over 50. They would have to be over 50.
Everybody says I'm 50 with a jersey collection.
And I would need 3 months to train. 3 months. There's no doubt.
3 months. You'd be fucking
3
dead.
months, I could lose 50 pounds. I could lose 50 pounds in 3 months. If it was worth doing.
50 pounds?
Yes, easy.
You'd be
130. I have a lot of, because I'm a big guy. I got more weight to lose than you.
But you would be, if you lost 50 pounds, you would be 130.
No.
At 5'11".
180. What are you kidding me?
I thought that's what you said.
I was joking. Thank you for even believing that.
Okay. I mean, I could only see your fucking melon head. That's it. I can't see your body. I thought 180 pounds, 120 of it was your head.
Gosh almighty. Joe, I said that the last time I was 180 is when I was my first wife.
So you got to be 230.
No. I'm more than that. I'm a big guy.
Really?
Remember, I had bariatric surgery. I used to weigh over 500 pounds.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yes. I'm in my upper 200s now. And don't say I'm
that big, Lee.
I'm a big guy.
But you don't look that big. I mean, your face even.
Well, you know what? During COVID, I gained some more weight. Doing this show and staying at home, I gained more weight. I'm not nearly as active as I was. That's why I go out at night with the dogs to give me that activity.
Driving, that's an activity.
But you know what? I really don't eat a lot.
You burn a lot of calories driving. You should walk with those dogs.
I do.
Oh, I thought you said you take them for a ride.
Yeah, but what I do is we go to a tennis court, and I let them out at the tennis court here in town, and they run around the tennis court. So I got to get out of the car and walk to the gate of the tennis court and open up the gate. So that walk between the car and the gate of the tennis court is about 10 seconds, maybe 30 steps. I walk around here all the time too. I love to walk because I wasn't walking a year and a half ago until I got my vertebrae surgery.
Yeah, I have a troll channel dedicated to me, you, and Vinny. When could I get my own?
You can be a troll at any time you want.
No, I mean, when could I get my own troll channel against me?
Oh, they're already out there, Joe. There's a lot of trolls that hate you.
Yeah, but the problem is this cocksucker NB for the, he's got like 22 fucking subs. You know what I mean? So who's watching that shit?
Yeah, he did a video on you this morning, I think.
Yeah, it's Joey Dimes.
Yeah, Joey Dimes. I want to see what Joey Dimes looks like.
Oh, I've seen what he looks like. We got a picture of him. Oh, my God. Friday the 13th, 78. Jason Voorhees takes the fucking mask off. There you have it. I'm being dead serious. I'm not lying. No.
Joey Dimes.
No. Like, okay, Freddy Cougar, that's what he looks like. Freddy Cougar, like that type of face. Like the droopy shit. Like he looks fucking horrible. And he's definitely older than you.
That's really, you got some old man. And see that old man, Joey Dimes is probably also MB.
No. Hell no. Absolutely not.
Subscribe to Josie. There's Josie's channel, people. Please subscribe to her. Don Vito. Come on, Don.
Joey Dimes.
One thing I like about Don Vito, though, he gets on my case, too. He says what he has to say. Jimmy Chlamydia. I never knew. That's a good name, Jimmy Chlamydia. Jimmy Clandra. Yeah, if you look at his punches, they are thrown from very weird angles.
Look,
Uh,
Jimmy Calandra's the man, and I have nothing bad to say about Jimmy. And at least FBS admitted that. Because I felt like he was trying to tell, like, get his people to, like, attack me by, saying that I said X, Y, and Z.
I'd like to see you. I'd like to see you against Jimmy Calandra. I think that would be very even fight.
He'd hurt me. I seen video of him. He's tough. I mean, tough.
Mama Luke, love when. Hey, so Mama Luke comes in here with all these negative remarks and wants to see me attack people more. Come on, Mama Luke. I'll make you a deal, Mama Luke. I'll do a whole show of attacking people if you show your face. How about that?
The thing is, if he shows his face, there'll be no people because everybody will leave. That's the problem. You'll go from 150 to...
Now, Amber Alert. Amber Alert started that name making fun of me. And look, even has my name on the side. Lee Cole, subscriber, with Amber Alert next to it. And now Amber Alert is in here, has a wrench. Do you have a wrench, Amber
You're
Alert?
a schmuck. Now, Amber Alert's cool. I thought Amber Alert was a chick. So...
Yeah, dude, you are so desperate for a chick. You think everybody.
No. I was saying like, hey, sweetie, to her. That's what I mean. So desperate for a chick.
Do you got good-looking women out there in Staten Island?
How about this? Ask your daughter what she thinks about Joey. Ask her. She's a woman, right? Ask her. Say, what do you think of Joey Dimes? What do you think of Joey?
Sit down syndrome. That's why I would pick him. That's why I would pick him. I agree with you 100%. He would be lost after 15 minutes. Grant Calder, you're putting down the brother C. This is Chatter. MB's putting down subscribe to Vinny Bracco. Who the hell is Vinny Bracco?
Who, Nervous Vinny?
Like to see? Well, who would you
Valiant
like to see
Vinny? Oh, he's all right, Valiant Vinny.
Who would you like to see Vinny go against?
Well, Vinny's afraid of his own shadow, so probably himself. How about Vinny against his shadow? That would be good.
Oh, Vinny. Come on.
He's afraid of his shadow.
How about Vinny against Al?
Vinny against Al?
Yeah.
Al who?
Al that used to have the show.
Al,
with a new show.
The biased eye guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
People would pay for that all across the country. That would be more popular than Covington fighting Masvidal.
I love how these people in the chat, they really try to spark shit off with their things. Joe, are you going to forgive Tom or is it over? Forgive him for what? Did he do something to me? I mean, I don't know. Like, everybody knows the situation. You don't know because Tom's a friend of mine. So you see things on camera, you don't know. And that's what the problem is. If you can't get involved with friends' business. You could get involved with YouTube business, but not people that I hang out with and I know.
Turd bird. That's the silliest thing I ever. Angel should answer for her father's crimes. What are you, crazy or something? Why? What does Angel have to do with her father's crimes? That's like saying my mother's crazy. I should answer for the shit that she's done. My mother's 85 years old. She's so mean she won't die. Lee Cole, if you care to show anything where I said anything about Les, I'll gladly leave. I don't want you to leave, David. Unless that's someone pretending to be you over there, David. Lee, to the guys who actually know a bit about jiu-jitsu and other martial arts and shit, Jimmy put out, I'm telling you, he's never done a day's training in his life.
Where did they come up with this?
Okay. Lee Mole, the shitty troll. I made my bones trolling on Minecraft. Hey, listen, I love my haters when they come in here. As long as they don't, as long as they're not too disrespectful, I'll put them up here. And but you know what they do? They'll go back to the other shows and go, I attacked Lee and I said this and I said that. But they won't say Lee put them
Yeah.
up there and let them say whatever the fuck they want. Pretty no Monita, Turd Bird. I've seen Danny's stories. I don't think meant it in a no. There's no racism in here, people. No racism, please.
Pretty Monita is exactly what her name says. Pretty. I just saw a picture of her on the screen.
You're not going to fall in love with her now, are you? Because you fall in love with other.
No. Listen, I'm only a 2-woman guy. Okay, I have one. I'm looking for one more. That's it. That's my limit. Try juggling more than that. Are you crazy? I'd be running wild. I tried that before. It's no good. It's not a good way to live.
Here's what the tough bandit Dane said. Laugh my asshole. Joey Watts is a punk. If you knew anything, you would know he grew up with Tommy Bilotti. Okay, so what is that? Why is he a punk? Bandit Dane.
Well, maybe you're a punk.
Show your face, Bandit Dane. Let's see what you look like. That Joe Watts would be scared of you.
Let me think what's in this room that I could say that he looks like. Nah. Maybe tonight in the toilet bowl, I could take a picture of what's in there and we could,
Can you imagine if Bandit Dane was in a room alone with Joe Watts and Joe Watts had him sitting on a chair? Bandit Dane be shitting all over himself.
You know? I would say if Bandit Dane was in the room with a girl, he'd be shitting all over himself.
Let me tell you, Joe, you got to understand, Joe Watts was not Italian, and Italians all respected him. They feared him. Remember that. They feared Joe Watts, Bandit Dane. So do you think that like he was some punk, but the Italians respected him and feared him? He had trouble. Him and John Jr. did not get along. I mean, everybody knew that. So you don't think that if John Jr. could kill him, he would have taken him out? Didn't happen. So I guess Joe Watts is not the punk you think he is. Fucking people. They don't understand that these guys like Joe Watts, who else was an Italian that was in the mob? And had
Jimmy Burke.
Now, and why would those guys not messed with by the Italians?
Henry Hill.
Yeah, come on. Don't put Henry Hill with these guys.
Henry.
How about Jimmy Columbia?
Jimmy Coonan.
Yeah, but he had his own crew, though, don't you?
Yeah, but he was respected by Italians. Yeah, I guess. There's guys.
Oh, let's see what they have to say. Bandit Dane, Lee, you are from Texas, so you get a pass, but the wigger next to you, you need to stop thinking you know anything.
No, wigger is not with a H. Come on, stop it now. Learn how to spell. I guess people in Texas don't know how to spell.
I'm not from Texas. I'm from New York, living in Texas.
Oh, so now you're a piece of shit.
No, once you're a New Yorker and you spend a certain amount of... I lived in New York when it was at its greatest. I lived in New York during the 70s, 80s, and early 90s. That's when New York was at its greatest. So
in what? When?
The 70s and 80s.
It was the worst in the world, the city. It was fucking piss poor.
Dude, that's why I loved it.
70s and 80s.
That's why I loved it. That's why I loved it. That's why I loved it.
Yeah, I know. That's why you loved it.
Are you saying that Brooklyn was a shit?
No, I take that back.
Okay.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. But what I'm saying is New York, like New York City, that's when it was the worst. No, Brooklyn.
No, New York. No.
Where I
New York
live,
City,
the best place.
New York City is the worst now.
Best place in the world when I lived there.
You got to remember, I lived in New York all through the 80s. I left Boston in 82. 82, I'm sorry, not all through the 80s. 82, and then I came back, got married, and lived in Queens, lived in Brooklyn.
A
But all
summer
through
in
the 80s and
Brooklyn, there's
90s.
no place like in the world. In the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, no place like in
There's
Brooklyn. In
one
the
place that
summer,
I
no
almost.
place. No.
Have you ever been to Ditmars Boulevard where the Greeks are?
Yes, but no. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the area I'm from. It was the best. We had the
Yeah,
most fun, the
yeah.
most people. It was just
Well, I worked
everything
on
about it was good.
well, I worked on 11th Avenue in Brooklyn at Scaturo's, and
Hmm.
that area was awesome. And it
Yep.
was safe. It was a lot of gangsters out there. They didn't bother nobody unless
Hmm.
they had a reason. They used to come into Scaturo's all the time, and they would always be with their mothers in
You
the
worked
black
there in the
dress
80s?
in the 80s. Yep,
Because then
yep.
it's crazy because my grandfather used to take me there. I probably ran into you and didn't realize it, thank God.
I was in the meat department. I
Yeah.
was in the meat cutters
Yeah.
union.
Hmm.
Yep. I started in Astoria, Queens, working at Scaturo's, and then I was transferred to Brooklyn. Actually, I wanted to be transferred to Brooklyn, and my sister at that time, Joan, lived in Brooklyn, and we switched apartments. So she
Hmm.
took my apartment in Astoria, and me and my wife went out to Brooklyn. She liked Astoria better, and I'd never been to Brooklyn at that time until the 80s. But I lived there for quite a while. Are you familiar with Yonkers at all?
No, thank God.
Yeah, Yonkers is a very tough spot area, but
No, there's
a
tough
lot
areas everywhere. It's just that's
in
not.
New York. Yeah, Yonkers. People have to remember there were a lot of gangsters in Yonkers. You know, uh, a lot of them lived there. A lot of the gangsters that were in New York City had a. They lived in a really nice Italian section of Yonkers. A lot of Italians in Yonkers. I don't know about anymore, but back then there were a lot of Italians. Look at Joe. People, look at Joe on his phone. If you ever get addicted to your phone like that, people, kill yourself.
It's
Alan Blue,
crazy.
we haven't read her. Joe, you and Vinny caused this whole mess. Before the drunk party in Tom's yard, everybody was cool. That makes you the YouTube authority.
No, 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 no. First, the mistake is Alan Blue. You were never cool. Okay, so let's end it right there. Who got along? Who got along? I don't know who was getting along before me. I don't know who was getting along. I think what happened was pieces of shit like you, Alan Blue Balls, got involved, and then that was it. Because you talk shit about Vinny, then you try to come in the chat and like, hey Vinny, what's up? And now you're talking shit now because you know that if you came on here and said, hey, bait, they like your hat, or hey, this, people would just avoid you. You'd just be like, nobody would. Wait a minute now. Hold on a minute now. McBooger Balls, what's up, man? How are you? Good, man. No, McBooger Balls is my homie.
Okay, you done with Vinny Blue now.
Yeah, I'm
Let me
done
see.
with blue balls for right now.
Matt, so truly, it's sad how the world is. Hey, I'm going to tell you guys something. This is how fucked up our world is right now. Do you know the UN? The Ukraine went to the UN and said, "Can we put a no-fly zone above Ukraine?" And you know what that would have meant? That would have meant that the United States and the rest of the world would put up planes to be a no-fly zone, and Russia would not be allowed to attack them from the air, and Russia wouldn't be able to do a damn thing. And you know what the UN said, and the U.S. also said, no. So people that think that this is like the biggest fucking plan going, and do you know that we're getting all this oil from Russia, and we're putting all these restrictions on them, but we're still going to buy their oil from them. And here in Texas, we have just as much oil here in Texas as I have in all of fucking Russia.
That's
We don't
crazy.
have to do this. This is
Yeah,
fucking all planned, people. This is
yeah.
planned. If anybody doesn't think this is planned, You're crazy. I mean, why are we still buying oil from Russia when we have more oil in this country than any place in the world? We don't need to get oil from nobody, not a damn person. But yet, that's what we're doing. This is all planned, people. Republicans and Democrats, they're both evil and they're both doing it. You can't trust nobody no more. These fucking politicians. Fuck them. Joe, I'm busting chops. You're a good dude. Maybe I'm just jealous of your relationship with MB.
I don't have a relationship with her, but you could be jealous of it, but cool.
Okay, Tommy.
Okay. Thank you, though.
Okay, things got better with Paulie gone. JG was blue collar boss. Okay, Tommy. Tommy, we know you're going to say that, Tommy. You know, you're a John Gotti guy. I understand that. And Lee, you're on the roll in the sewers tonight at Lee Cole. See, David, you're just saying, I don't say nothing bad about you, but you just told me I'm in the sewers. Are you trying to say YouTube is the sewers? Lee, these are the kind of shows I like most when you guys talk about a lot of different things. It just not concentrate. I agree with you, Matt. And like I said, you're welcome to come on anytime you want, Matt.
Matt Collier?
Yeah, Redzilla, I'm a monster, Paps. Okay. Turd Bird's trying to cause a lot of trouble, people. Turd Bird, you're putting up all these remarks going after everybody today. What's up with you?
I don't see Turd Bird.
Okay. Redzilla is sitting on an A-Liar pogo stick as we speak. Okay. Is this... I love when trolls fight. Okay, let's see. Lee Cole, how do you like Constance belly poker? I don't know what the fuck you mean by that. Am I just do you know what they mean by that?
No.
Get the fuck off your phone. Do you know what they mean?
I'm not on my phone.
I'm ready to fire him. How do you like the constant belly poker? I have no idea what that means. Okay, JC, you're sitting there like a retard smoking Reggie weed. Okay, I don't. Fuck the truth. Just imagine some people look like
Reggie.
Remember Smoking Tommy resting. Hey, Smoking Tommy was a sick man at the end of his life. You know, that's not who he was. We get sick, we go down. None of us look good when we're on our deathbed. None of us are going to look good on our deathbed. Tommy was part of this, and we knew him for a few months through here, and it's a shame that he died.
He went out with a bang. He touched a lot of people on YouTube.
Lee Mole the Turd, I'm going to give you that one because you're having a bad day. Lee Mole the Turd is fighting with Redzilla. Okay. MV Diddy, I would beat up Shanna. Red here, don't care. Okay. Only Egypt's believe it, worst selfish agenda. I don't know what Danny Stories is.
Danny Stories is my homeboy. Danny Stories is good people. Trust me.
Does he have a show?
He has a show. Yep. And you know what? If he's got an agenda, let him come on because he's a good guy. See, good people can have agendas. It's when pieces of shit have agendas. He doesn't have an agenda. He's trying to be friends with people. I don't know. If you start a show, what are you going to do? Not talk to anyone? So
well, we got to check. I'm going to check Danny's Stories out.
He's good, Danny Stories. Trust me. He's been on the show. He's emailed me. He's a good guy, man. He's from Toronto.
How many subs do you have?
Probably like 100 or something like that. 200 maybe.
Started
under 100. He just started out.
Okay. Okay, people. Danny Stories just started out. So if you want to go over there and sub, go do it.
Well, tomorrow we're doing an MMA show, me and Lee and some others. I got to have NB make us up a nice thumbnail.
No, you said Saturday because you backed out tomorrow because you're a big star now.
No, what's today? Thursday?
Oh, today's Friday. That's right.
Oh, he's a Mama Luke, this guy. Thank you. You threw me off here.
So you have a show going on tonight? You got a show going on
I got a
tonight?
show going on every night, homie. Yeah, we're probably going to do a live tonight.
Did you have a show last night?
We were on Vinny's channel last night.
That means you didn't have a show then. That's your two.
No, we'll
separate
do
shows.
like I'll do a show every other day.
So what's your show? What's your show going to be about tonight? Just
Tonight
bullshit?
it's going to be about Pretty Monita and all the beautiful women of YouTube. I want to dedicate a show to them because they're the ones that drive this thing. You know what I mean? They're the ones that call me and stuff. And a beautiful woman is just calling me now, my mother. So I have to put her on hold.
So what I'm going to do the following day, I'm going to have shows about who I think are women on here, but are really men.
This guy is a fucking marketing genius. I love that, man. Yeah.
But you don't think people do that?
But what we should do is you should like call them out and give them an opportunity to prove you wrong. Say, show your face. Not to the people. They don't have to show their face to the world. Show it to you backstage.
How about if you just say, show your genital area? Show be shut down real quick. Joe would be like, I'll be there. No, I don't want to be here looking at people's genitals.
John Cat one. Nice, John Cat one. Talking about my wife, John Cat one. Look, John Cat one, maybe we could do this. Now, maybe you could satisfy my wife. Let me know. I'll hook it up for you. So.
See, that's one thing about marriage. Do you remember when you first met your wife?
Mm-hmm.
Was there a lot of spark when you first met her?
Yeah. Yep. My wife was 19, so yeah, there was a lot of spark.
Hey, if you haven't hit the like,
She was a teenager. She was a college girl.
So do you have the same spark now?
Yes.
Oh, you do? Well, that's good then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because usually when you get married, the spark lasts for 6 months and it flames out real
Whoa,
fast.
wait a minute now. You said same spark. You didn't specify and say spark for her. You said, do you have the same spark?
Oh, you do, but she doesn't. Oh.
No,
So you know
you
what
didn't.
that means,
You said
Joe.
when you met her at first, did you have a spark? Yes. And you said, do you have a spark now? I said, yes.
Okay, I'm going to investigate this a little bit. So does she leave the house a lot?
Never.
She doesn't leave the house?
Not
You just
much.
said she's not there right now.
Right. The thing is, she works from home now. For 2 years now. So she doesn't leave. Like she used to go to work every day and I would go to work.
When I lived in Brooklyn, Joe, I could tell you a story. When I lived in Brooklyn, my first wife and I was cheating her. And then one day I came home and she accidentally left her purse in the wrong area. And I opened it up and I found out that she was going to this motel and meeting this dude. She knew all the time I was cheating. So she was cheating.
Oh, that's the worst.
Women are a lot smarter than men give them credit for.
And they could do way more damage too.
Yeah. And you know, but at that time our marriage was over. But it's just kind of funny, you know, men, they think they're a lot smarter than what they are. And I remember when I found that, it was just like, and then behind her, I found a picture of her like all dressed up in like a negligee. And this dude took a picture and put it in her wallet. You know why? Because the spark was dead, Joe. The spark was gone. Joe's just shaking his head. I just told him about the spark. He doesn't want to hear about the spark. We're going to do a show on the spark.
The thing is, I don't understand why people think that like I don't want to be with my wife. I mean, I just like, have I given you that?
Yes. Yes, you have.
How have I given you that? Now, if you know me, like my friends, right? My people that are around me know that it's like I'm joking. You understand what I'm saying? I always have my wedding ring on, so it's like you want me to talk about like me being happily married and everything. Well, that's not
How about
really like it's not as edgy as like, hey sweetie, you know what I mean? You got to kind of, when like they have but no, I'm happily married. If that's what
Joe?
you're
You
asking.
like
You think if I was not happily married that I would be on here winking at girls doing this, sweetie? Come on. You have to be very confident in your relationship. Like I'm very confident that she would never cheat on me and I'll be married to her for the foreseeable future.
people? If you think Joe's happy in her marriage, leave a 1. If you think he's not happy in his marriage, leave a 2.
Come on. And if you think otherwise, leave a 3.
Okay.
Balls in my court, huh?
So here's how you know whether you really want to be with the
See
woman.
that?
What's that?
Look they're all 1s. All right, maybe there's a couple of, because you got to look at it this way. If I really was unhappily married and I was really trying to hook up with girls, would I be doing it on YouTube?
Does it really matter where you meet a woman?
No, what I'm saying is my wife would be listening to it. So why not just at that point say goodbye, sweetie? Like if I was cheating on my wife, would I want anybody to know that? When you were cheating on your wife, would you have let people know? The public?
Everybody knew but her.
But
The first time, because at that time I was running a business and I was having an affair with someone at my business, and everybody at the business knew, but then she found out from someone at the business.
That's completely different than this. But I will say this, okay? I will say this. I guess as men, I don't know, maybe you could answer this because I don't know, but like when you meet, like when you're younger and you're meeting women, like when you're available, like it's a good feeling when you go out and you get a girl's number and you call the girl and you go out on a date. Like that whole thing is cool. Then you get married and like you can't do that, right? But what happens when you're married and you're like in your 40s, right? Like for as far as men, do they go through like a midlife crisis or like
Hell
what?
yeah.
So
Hell
then what
yeah.
happens when so
That whole midlife crisis thing is true, Joe. That is true.
right.
You haven't
So
gone
then
through one yet?
me,
Yeah.
I don't know what a midlife crisis would be, because if it's like wearing caps and doing all this, like I did all this my whole life. I don't think I'm doing one thing different, and I mean that. I don't think I've done one. I still collect baseball cards, sneakers, watch sports. I mean, everything is completely the same. Now, it could be that
Most men, well, first of all, Don Vito goes, Joe can spell?
yeah, I know. Right.
Joe actually has a degree.
Degree. Yeah, I have a degree, 98.6 degrees I am.
No, I understand what you're saying, Joe. Today's kind of a weird show. We're talking about everything, but
Talking about chicks. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I guess maybe it's like, as men, you still want to see if you're appealing to women.
Laugh out loud. You're dead wrong, Lee. New York City crime was the worst while you were living here. It's not. Let me tell you something. I would take the 80s in New York over New York now. It wouldn't even be a question. You could walk through Brooklyn. You had your pure Italian neighborhoods. You had your Jewish neighborhoods, your black neighborhoods, your Puerto Rican neighborhoods. Now, all the neighborhoods in Brooklyn are from other countries. Russian, India. You got other countries living in all these neighborhoods. Back then, you had real neighborhoods. And New York City in 1980s started getting better. I'm not talking about the beginning of the 80s. That was Mayor Dinkins. Let's remember that. That was Mayor Dinkins. Giuliani came in and cleaned his shit up.
Dinkins was a
Mayor
disaster.
Dinkins? Oh my God. It was Dinkins and Abe Burns. Remember what they did to the city? Those two?
Abe Beam in the 70s. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
I wasn't born then, but I heard he was bad.
They said Jimmy Burke would have been made if he was Italian and apparently was respected as one. He really was. Think about it. He never ratted when he took his sentence at the end. He died like an old Italian warrior, gangster. You got to say Jimmy Burke's. I mean, the Italian guys knew not to fuck with him either because he had a big crew. I just subbed to her today. Wish I knew that other account okay. Well, if you guys can sub the other channels, that's cool. Jimmy Burke was working with all the families, super smart. Jimmy Burke preferred not being made because of all the money he was making. How much money do you think Jimmy Burke made for all the families he was involved with?
Millions.
Can you imagine?
Millions.
Lee,
and he made millions for himself.
Did you see the video Chicago Muscle did about mob rats? The guy is dead set Gronk. He needs to take a rest from his YouTube shit. It's his whole life. He thinks it's too real. Well, you know what? I can't. Chicago Muscle did a few things to me, but the reality is this. He hates Johnny Mac. To be honest with you. And let's leave it there. Lee, you look like the adorable Adrian Adonis in the ring. I would. Adrian Adonis, how he died, right?
Did he?
He was driving the wrestler Adrian Adonis.
Yeah.
He was in a car accident, died while he was in his he was quite fat. Yeah, but he was in his prime when he died.
Yep.
David, yeah, New York City was real gritty, and that's what made New York City when it was gritty. That was what New York was, gritty. Now it's like you've got people walking in front of you and squatting and shitting. And you got people running into, back then, if you couldn't run into a store and grab stuff and not be chased, back then, if you ran into a store and grabbed stuff, people would chase you. Not anymore. It's actually really sad to hear. Mentally abused, sexually abused, kidnapped by his own junkie father. I don't know who you're talking about, Irishman. Sorry. Scotty McBooger, just because of your names. If you're dating someone, Adora, the first time, you should get a stool sample for your own studies. Okay.
He's good, McBooger Balls. We're supposed to hang
Russia
out.
And have Don Vito, great point. Let's go. Who's Brandon? I can't.
That's Mr. Biden's homeboy.
That's political, so I just go, who's Brandon? I know what it means. Lee, I but you are not buying oil from Russia, FF. Just look at all the sanctions. No, there's no sanctions toward Joey. They're not. There's no sanction toward Russian gas right now or Russian fuel. I don't know where you're coming from or what you're thinking. You know why they won't put sanctions against Russians? You know what happened when they shut down the oil in this country and open up in Russia? Members of Congress and the Senate, guess who they put stock in? Those companies. Those companies they bought stock in. A lot of them did. Both parties. Nancy Pelosi bought a shitload of stock from those companies. So no, people, come on. Keeping it old school. Who was the trash bag? Okay, sexual. Oh, sexual cat juice. He should go on every 10 or 11, then have Vinny follow him at noon. How can you go to a channel when no one knows what time you're on? Well, this show comes on always between 1 and 2. People know that. Why is Vinny on right now?
Is he?
Check. I mean, you're on your phone. I don't see a reason you can't check.
It was my mom. You don't believe me.
No, you've been on the phone
Yeah,
with a lot of people. Lee, do you think Texas would? I wish
He is
Texas
on
would.
Mama Luke.
Do you realize that the state of Texas has everything it needs and could? There's nothing that the state of Texas needs that the United States, that the rest of the United States can give it. It's one of the few
No,
states.
he's not on. He dropped the pre-record.
Few states. It even has its own grid. And last year we had trouble with the grid here during winter, but it was the worst winter in 120 years. People say, and they say, oh, Texas never had no trouble with its grid one winter, and it was the worst winter in 120 years. Texas can easily leave. Texas can support itself because it has ranches, it has farms. Texas has the Gulf where it can export and import its own stuff. Texas has Houston, Dallas, some of the biggest financial districts. Everybody, all the financial districts right now are moving to Austin. Texas can survive easily. There's probably 3 states in this country that can survive: Florida, California, and Texas. But unfortunately, California could not survive because of who runs it. That's what it comes down to. Don Vito,
I'm commenting in your chat, Lee.
Huh?
I'm commenting in your chat, so if you see me typing, it's people are asking questions, and
I keep hearing that Ukrainian cities are being bombed. I've been watching on YouTube cams set up in Ukrainian buildings. Yeah, they haven't been getting. The Russians aren't able to get to the cities. Okay, but they just dropped a bomb by one of the nuclear areas out there. Can you imagine that they're trying to? That they don't mind blowing up a nuclear plant. The Russians.
Yeah, man, they're crazy. That
Russian people,
still
the Russian people are good people.
Shit.
They got a leader right now that's going way too far. And you know what's going to happen to Putin? He's going to be taken out by somebody in his government. Remember I said that. You guys, I don't know if you guys remember when Yeltsin took over. Same thing happened. The country started breaking up and stuff. It's going to happen again. Putin's going to be taken out by somebody close to him. Putin's a gangster. And you know how many gangsters run the government in Russia? That's all they are, is gangsters. That's it.
Could be.
Lee, I'm willing to Lee, I'm willing to work. You're always on and work, but one day I'll come on, but you can do it for you. Matt, I'll always be coming on. Sometimes I don't come on the weekends. Tomorrow's a big fight, so I don't think I'll be on. I'll probably drop a video. I like to take Sundays off and relax. But I've been on every day this week.
Mm-hmm.
I keep hearing. Okay, I just read it. I'm sorry. Let me catch up here a little bit. I'll read. I got 7 more minutes. I'm gonna stay on, people. Lee Mole the Turd. I like to read anti-Lee ones. Redzilla. Okay, you're still fighting with Redzilla. Okay, you came into enemy territory. Hey, people, let's give Lee Mole the Turd credit. Lee Mole the Turd came into enemy territory and has been here for 2 hours. So let's give Lee Mole the Turd some credit.
Give credit where credit is due.
This is so true. Women can get away with cheating. We as men are dumb. Any guy who says he hasn't been cheated on, do you know for sure? You know something, though?
Good pernt.
And a man is much weaker than a woman, because when a man, people think that when a woman breaks up with a man, 90% of the time it's so complete. It's like, I'm leaving you, goodbye. And they are leaving you, and it's goodbye. any woman that's left me has always been goodbye. I mean, I'm out of here. I want nothing to fucking do with you. Fuck you. You're evil. I hate you. Goodbye.
Good parent.
Okay, let's see. Fuck that, Lee. What happened to me? Also, my ex got back at me for doing it too. Yep, Matt. It's a funny world. But look at you. Do you guys know how fucked up the just generation right now is on the TikTok generation? These young women that talk about the most horrible 17, 18-year-old girls on TikTok, talking about oral sex and just horrible, nasty shit, no respect for themselves. You have any idea? TikToks, and who runs TikTok, people? TikTok's run by the Chinese, and it's so popular in this country. All these little girls on TikTok. It's a shame. It really is. Any of you guys watch Ribby the Frog? Ribby the Frog is on YouTube, and he shows TikToks of what women say on TikTok. And Ribby's quite funny. Joe, I'm looking at this thing right now. So a lot of people think that you're happy. One guy said 1.5, just so you know.
What does that mean?
That means sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're not.
So I'm human.
Oh, dad cheated on mom.
Oh, yeah, you're like 3 fucking hours behind in your chat, so.
I'm caught up. It's 2:45. I'm only 11 minutes behind. That's pretty good.
Really? Wow.
I'm 11 minutes behind. Jimmy Burke killed his wife's ex-boyfriend just a day before their wedding. Joey Electric. That's very interesting. Joe, did you know that? Joe's in the Twilight Zone.
No. I know that. Yes, I do.
Billy Batch was whacked over a loan shark, and Billy was back and wanted his business back. Now, go get your shoe shine. You know that whole Billy. Do you watch Mooney's Cam?
No. But I've heard
the guy that drives around.
Yeah.
Very good show. It's one of the best mob shows
ever
there is. He drives around to old places.
Mm-hmm.
And yesterday, a couple days ago, he did the Billy Bats killing.
Wow.
He showed where the argument. He did okay. Joe's like my son right now. I want to reach through and grab him by the throat.
If you knew who I was talking to, you'd say go. But go ahead. Okay. Guess I would be.
Billy Bats. So Mooney's Cam did. They went to the first bar. The fight started with Billy Bats, and they got him 2 months later. People think it happened the same night. 2 months later, they got Billy Bats. Tommy DeSimone.
So that shine thing, they killed him 2 months after that.
Yeah, and you know why? Because he went into Henry Hill's bar, and
Robert's Lounge.
And they went to Henry Hill's bar, and when he went in there, Henry Hill, who's a snake and a druggie, helped set him up with Jimmy. They set him up and they beat him to death with the butt. They didn't beat him to death, almost to death, with the butt of the gun. They didn't shoot him. They beat him with the butt of the gun. Think about that. You got to watch Mooney Dash Cam. Very good show, Joe. If you like history, it's a very good show. Okay, I'm trying to catch up here before I close this down today. John Riley Mooney showed Hill's place on Queens Boulevard, the suite. That's right, John Riley. That's exactly what he did. And before, he had a couple interesting shows. He did he's pretty much doing everybody out there. He's a good-looking guy. He looks like a young guy. He drives around in the truck, and it's just a wonderful show. I really like watching it. Did the shine box really happen? Only according to actually, who knows if it happened, but Bats did hated Tommy DeSimone, and he did say something real nasty to him. But in reality, was it a smart move by DeSimone to kill him? What do you think?
I don't
Look
think
what
so.
happened to Tommy. Tommy got whacked for it. And there's
Yeah,
even
I don't think, because it just killing a made guy in that time period
Gambino, and the guy was a
probably
Gambino,
wasn't.
and he was a good friend of John Gotti, who respected him because he did his prison time, came out of prison. John Gotti went to and wanted him dead. He knew who did it. He wanted him dead. And there's some people that say John Gotti did the hit. No evidence, but there are people that say that John Gotti was waiting in the room when Tommy DeSimone walked in and put the bullet in his head.
Yeah,
So,
the thing is, back in the 70s, like, killing a made guy was like pretty much suicide. Just because even if nobody gave a damn about the guy, Billy Bats, it's on principle. You know what I mean? It becomes a situation where something has to be done. So if he's a made guy and you killed him, but then
you know
again,
what sucks about that? He survived prison. So it's obvious he was a tough guy. He survived prison. He was there for 8 years. He survived prison and came home and had this little fuck kill him.
but then the other thing is, it probably, which would be better? Be like putting your hands on a made guy or killing a made guy. I don't know if it got to the point where he just punched the guy and he says, look, I might as well kill him, because if I hit the guy and he walks away, I could be killed. I mean, I don't know the whole circumstance.
On Mooney Dash Cam, he said that Jimmy Burks called. Tommy wasn't there. He called Tommy, and Tommy came walking through the door with a gun and attacked him right away with the gun butt and started smashing him in the head as Jimmy Burks held him down. So,
yeah,
that's what
the movie said. So yeah, it's similar to the movie. Yeah.
Yeah, the only difference is it was two months that it took before they got him.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? So much gang shit in movies is so bad, so far off. And that's what made The Godfather so great, because it wasn't based on a true story. It took a bunch of incidences and put them together, like the part in the bar when Luca Brasi goes in the bar.
Mm-hmm.
That was Gallo that was in the bar and remember, they choked him out. And they almost killed him, and they took a lot of stuff, like Joey Gallo when he went into a lot of Joey Gallo stuff was used in The Godfather, a lot. Mm-hmm. If I could meet any gangster, that's the gangster I'd want to meet, Joey Gallo.
Joey Gallo.
Yep, without a doubt, because I hear that he was one of those guys that was very good to his crew. I don't know if you've seen the interview I did with one of the people that knew him, but he was very good to his crew, and his whole crew really liked him.
Yeah, so Vinny, I guess, is not feeling well. So
I'm sorry to hear that.
He's I guess going
Monique Johnson. Hey guys, when you see people like Monique come in and put that stuff, please erase it. That's being done on purpose.
So are we ending this? Because let me call this schmuck before we go into
We're ending this right now. People, let's say goodbye to our favorite visitor here, Joe. Joe, say goodbye and tell them what you're doing next.
Thank you, guys. We'll probably be doing a show tonight. Just more of a show. I mean, like on the weekends, just see what's going on, like catch up with people, talk about like who talked about me, and like we'll talk about some other people, and then and then tomorrow what we're going to do is we're going to do a show on the UFC. There's a very big fight, and it is Kobe Chaos Covington against Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. Now, the situation with those two was Two best friends live together. They fell out, and it's like a big grudge match right now, and it's been a grudge match for years. Kobe Covington, obviously, probably the second best fighter in the world. George Masvidal, you seen what he could do, so it's a grudge match. So it should be great. And we're going to do a little preview on that in the undercard. So that'll be tomorrow afternoon.
If they fought out in the street, Masvidal would probably kick his ass. But it's not out in the street; it's in the ring. Whole different ball game.
So So also, I just want to thank everyone that commenting in the chat, good or bad, because I got to be honest with you. As I'm getting further with this, you can't just have all people loving you. You need the haters in the chat a little to make it a little more interesting and spice it up. So the only thing is, like, talking about someone's wife, you know what I mean? Like, someone was doing that last night, saying like he's going to come and, fuck my wife or whatever. Now, you want to say stuff like that? Come on, man. That's taking it a little too far. You know what I mean? But
that
thank you, guys.
Sorry, Gianni Russo. That beef is not fake. It's definitely not
fake. Those people
fake.
should be ostracized when they do that, because that's going a little too far with it. You know what I mean? So, because what's going to happen? I threaten the guy. I mean, so.
Okay, let me ask you a question, though, Joe.
Yeah.
What happens if you were into that thing, like 3 ways?
I'd be calling you up first. You'd be the first person I call.
Your wife would be so disappointed and hate you so bad. She would leave you. She would leave you for sure.
How about this? I'll make you a deal. You could have my wife if you give me your daughter. Fair swap?
Unwanted. Lee, why did you let me here? Why not, dude?
I guess
I don't give a shit if you're here. I don't give a shit what you're saying. As long as it's not.
We love him.
Yeah, we're not going to block you.
No. Hey, Mike Slick, what's up, man? I love Mike Slick.
I don't know if you did. Listen, David Cameron, maybe someone has your ID and they're using your name to start trouble. Who the hell knows?
I would. Oh, that's happened.
I'm telling you what I said. But it does happen. This is what the trolls do. If you didn't do it, I apologize. I hope you didn't do it. And that's it.
DP, my brother for life, DP. Thank you. DP's the man.
We got a consistent crowd in here. Thank you guys so much. Joe, say goodbye, and I'm going to say goodbye.
Thank you. Doodoo Brown, if you're out there. Brooklyn Bounce, James, Gianni Russo, Unwanted, Raymundi, NB. I'll email you, and hopefully you could talk to your dad and get back to me, and we'll work something out. Thank all you guys. Love you guys.
You take care, brother.
See you tomorrow, or actually tonight, guys, around 8:00, maybe 8:30. Thanks, guys. Good night.
Okay, another show in the books. Thanks everybody for being here. Please hit or like. And if you want to donate to the show, you can go to my Cash App that I never show, but it's if you go into the show, you'll see it. Not the show. On the top, you'll see it. Boy, for a guy with a Cash App, I never show it. So how the hell do I expect to get anything? People, take care. Thank you for being here.